we live in an age where there is a lot of stress in each and every one of our lives because our interactions today are much more than they ever were before. In the old days, you would interact with a few people. Let's say you were working on the farm. So interact with the farmers there or some other people. But today what happens is, especially those who live in big cities, in every city there are people who migrated from every other part of the world also. And so when you live there, you find people of many cultures and backgrounds. And then you interact with them, whether at work, whether they're in a neighborhood, whether through the TV you interact with a lot of people, or through the computer you interact with a lot of people. What happens is that the understanding of a certain activity is different based on the cultures from where you came. And so what is very important is to recognize that difference. If we recognize that there would be differences in someone's understanding, then we would understand their responses easily. But if we expect everyone to respond the same way as we do, then that's not possible, and that's the cause of stress. Stress comes into the life of a mother when she thinks that the child is not behaving like the child should do. And when the child grows up, stress comes in the life of the child because the child thinks, I'm trying to make my mother happy and my mother's not getting happy. Okay? So the stress comes when we all think our boss doesn't know anything. Why did he become a boss? We know much more than them, right? So that's what stress is all about. Things which are contrary to our expectations. Yeah? And then they create stress. Now, meditation definitely helps us deal with stress. And there have been so many studies which show that. Because when we meditate, what happens is, even before we meditate, in a regular day-to-day activity, our brain waves are working close to what are called 20 hertz or 20 cycles per second. Okay? But when we meditate, we can go to much lower states of the vibrations of our brain. And they can go down to like 4 cycles per second. And so there's a calming effect. And that calming effect is not only there for the time that we meditate, but that calming effect is there for long periods of time afterwards. Yeah. And then, because we have calmed ourselves, then our reactions to the impulses that come in our directions are more calmer. We don't respond in like a hurry. And so the responses that come for us are much more calmer, much more loving, and much more peaceful. And so the atmosphere gets more charged. Also, as we meditate, we have a better understanding that there is a connection with God. If we find our own connection with God, the realization sets in, okay, if we are connected with God, so is everyone else. They're not different from us. And when that happens, then we get to that state where we don't want to create any commotion with someone else. Even if we think they're doing something wrong, okay, we forgive them. Because we realize that it is better to forgive than to keep on that activity which is giving us pain. And the stronger person is not the wrestler, the stronger person is one who can forgive. Because you need a lot of strength to forgive, a lot of inner strength to forgive. And so, as we meditate, when we do realize that the hand of the Lord is there to support us in each aspect of our life, then we also realize that the hand of the Lord is there to support someone else too. And then we find that as we interact with others, everything becomes more loving and calmer and happier. And when that happens, then the stress levels get less and less and less, because our understanding of ourselves, our understanding of others, our understanding of our interactions get to a higher state, so that we realize that whatever happens here doesn't matter anyway. 75% is maybe bound to happen, we can't change it. 25% we can work, so the other person not working, let us work on it. And then we get to a state where we feel very, very comfortable with whatever is coming to us, whether it's an upper or a downer or something good or something bad, we stay more in equipoise. And when you stay in equipoise, then your stress levels get less and less and less. So meditation truly helps us lead lives in which stress is relieved tremendously.